Okay, first of all, let me tell you how to get there. An easy way is to do a Google search for BYU linking labs or BYU record linking labs. If you do any of that, it'll come up. Or if you can see up here, the address is really short. It's rll.byu.edu, and it just pops up. Okay. One other thing I want to mention, most of our classes, we teach you how to work on your family tree, that whenever we close down, you can go and try some of the things and do things. With the linking lab, they have a lot of tools out there. It's sort of like indexing, and you may or may not be familiar with that program, but what you're going to be doing is helping the family history community get records linked to their family tree. And we're going to be showing you those things. And I will admit, I'll be going along and I'll click one tab and we'll be doing one thing. I click another tab and you're going to say, didn't we just do that? Yes, there is a bit of repeat here. No, I'm not too senile yet, but there is some repeat in the website. I think I can show you their goal. Tell me you see the word about. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Our lab, just so you know, this is student run at Brigham Young University. So, and it sounds like they're a bunch of computer geeks, but our lab has 5 main objectives: developing auto indexing, which is what they're doing with the 1950 census, which is really exciting; increasing the coverage for African Americans on the tree; completing attaching censuses for every American in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And that I will be showing you. That's what I've been working on. Helping converts find 100 family names on the tree, and creating meaningful experiences at museums. So that's what they're doing. Some of the projects they're working on, I am not going to read all of these. You may want to go in and look at them. Like I say, we are going to talk about some of them, but building trees, African-American families, auto-indexing. They have a lot of projects with corporations, museums, because there are museums around the country where you can go in and they have some sort of family history connection. The Harvard project is rather interesting. I'm not going to show you about it, but they've gathered together who was roommates in the early 1900s in Harvard and kind of followed them throughout their life. Okay. Let's see. They do have a bunch of little videos here. And there's 6, 8, 10 of them. Hopefully these are scrolling past. You can watch them on your own. Click on them here. They're also made to work on your mobile device, but they're just some short little videos to tell you how to do things. They do have a Facebook page. They post some of the projects they're working on. Rather interesting. So if you're on Facebook, you may want to click on that and see what they're doing. The volunteer page is where some of the magic happens. We have this hints, and in another section, they call it the map app. And this is where you can go in and you can either go by location or by name, click on it, and it will start bringing up record hints. And then will also bring up a family tree, and you get to see if that record matches the family tree and attach it. Now, this is going to be nice for somebody that clicks, you know, they find their family in family search and they go, oh, there's records attached. This is wonderful. It proves that grandma's name really was Mildred or whatever. So it's going to be nice. You're kind of going to give them their family tree on a silver platter. We're going to show you that one. And then we have reverse indexing. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that one. This is kind of fun. Now, did a bunch of names come up that say Grogger?
Yes.
Is that showing?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, thank you. What this is, now I'm actually doing this live. This is where we get to be the intelligent part of artificial intelligence. What we are doing here, there's a little name up here in the upper left under reverse indexing, and it says Grogger, Grauger. And then they have pulled out 12 different words. And this, we're supposed to look at each one of these, and the instructions are very simple. If it doesn't say Grogger, click on it. And the good thing about this, maybe you think it says Grogger, maybe somebody's looking over your shoulder and they go, no, that's not Grogger. It doesn't matter. This is sort of a, what do you call it, crowdsourcing thing. You are not the final person on this. Other people will be looking on this, at this, but it's going to be telling the computer, yes, you read it right. So Grogger, yeah, I'd say that's Grogger, Grauger, Grauger. I would say that's Grogger. I would say that is too. Grogger, Grogger, Grogger. So far, this one's pretty good.
This comes off threshold right here. And,
Grogger.
and I like it because as soon as I see it, it looks like that's the way it's supposed to be. That's right.
Okay.
In a drain.
Hey, Karen, would you mind muting your computer, please?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you.
Grogger. Okay, let's take a vote. Is that Grogger or is that Trogger?
Grogger.
Grogger.
Everybody says Grogger?
Grogger.
Okay, well, I will hit submit and it's going to give me another name. Are you sure you want to submit? Yes, submit. And then we have another name. And actually, I am not going to go through this one. I've got some other things I want to show you, but you can just keep doing this. You can do one name, you can do 50 names. And all you have to do is click on the one that doesn't match and hit submit. Real simple. Okay. Now, here is one that I really like. And I'm going to show you mine live, I hope. This is the 5-a-day project. And what it is, you sign up and they will send you 5 hints for 5 families. And you get to attach that record if it matches. So I'm going to go to my email. Please tell me you see my email. Yes, okay. And it comes from Joe Price. And you get a nice little letter with some little thoughts. And hint 1. Okay. Shirley, nod your head. Are you looking at Source Linker for William Winkle? I am just so glad these are showing. Okay. What this is, over on the left, we have a record from the 1910 census. Over on the right, we have a family tree that is already in Family Search. So we need to determine if the census record on the left matches the people on the right. So we're just going to click on details here. That's not a lot of information. I really can't tell. We'll try here. No information on Carrie or William. Well, let's look at Kate here. She is in Jackson Township in 1910. And we're looking at the 1910 census. I don't know. I just don't know. This is one that I'm going to pass on for right now. And I may have to open this up and work on it a little more. Let's try hint 2 and see if we get an easy one. Okay, we get Colonel B. Thompson and Josephine. Let's hit details here. And boy, we've got another one. Born in South Carolina, but Stevens, Oklahoma. Okay. Duncan and Stevens. Boy.
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell. This is another one I'm going to have to do some work on because we have Oklahoma, Missouri, and Hidalgo, Texas, and we have Oklahoma, Oklahoma. Not looking good for me.
Well, if that daughter was born in Missouri, then it looks like they were traveling west.
Yeah, they did a lot of traveling. hoping I can find an easy one here. Oh, with a name like that, that should be pretty easy. Okay, now I have a feeling, I'm feeling much better about this one because we have Pennsylvania, and with a last name like that, I'm going to go ahead and match these. Let's take a look at the image just to make sure. Usually they're much easier than this. And sure enough, they do not have a first name for him. But Camden, New Jersey. I'm going to go ahead and match them. So we're going to compare. And this is, we're going to add the data from the 1910 census. Going to add it for Louisa. Add for the daughter. And then we have some additional kids here, which are not on there. And the way this works, it's really easy. We click on add, and it's going to bring up the data. Already says deceased. Create new person. Add the data from the record, attach the record. And we just keep doing this until we get all 5 done. Normally, by now, I'd have all 5 done. The first 2, like some of you said, we're not too sure. So I'm going to have to open up the family tree, really look at it, and see if it's a match.
Yeah, Jim, why do you think that it says deceased? There's no dates or anything. Why is it deceased?
Remember the 110-year rule?
Mhm.
And what that is, if they were born more than 110 years ago, they're deceased.
Okay.
And the tree may have been something that was put in. It may have been somebody built a tree off of Fred, or no, off of Louisa, the daughter, and, you know, the family, maybe it's a birth record. And, you know, we don't have a lot of data on the parents, so they don't have death dates for everybody. But that's a good question, because if you notice, their goal is to get everyone in the 1910 census and before into family search, if they're not already. How many people do you know that are in the 1910 census are still alive? I rest my case.
Okay, Jim, wasn't it like 20 years ago when we were doing genealogy that if you didn't have a death date, you just put deceased in? Otherwise, they did not recognize them as being dead, and the temple register stuff would be thrown back at you. So
You were supposed to put deceased in
Yeah.
there. And especially if you knew they were deceased and didn't have a date. And
right,
that putting that word in there was critical for people born a little later, say 1920. Well, we do have a few people that are 100 years old around. By the time you get into the 1930 and 40 census, hey, my sister's in the 1940 census and she's still alive.
Me too.
So, you know, we have to put those in. Okay, let's look at some other things here. 5-a-day project, we did that. Let's go ahead and look at it's either called the map app or record hints. We're going to bring that up. Now, this is where they're just going to pull up records either by a surname or perhaps a county. And not everybody's in there because they don't have record hints for everybody. But Candy, what's your home county?
I have no idea what you mean, home county.
What county were you born in?
Blue Earth.
What?
Blue Earth.
Oh, Blue.
Blue.
Blue Earth, Minnesota.
Yep.
Okay. We are going to search records in that county and hopefully match some up. And Candy, this is one where you may see names that you recognize. And it just throws a bunch in there, little dots, and we're just going to click on one. Doesn't matter which one. They're going to put, I forget how many out there, whether it's 50 or 100. And if they have more records than this, you do one, they'll throw another one in. So you're not going to get done until you get them all done, and then you'll clear it out. And it's just going to bring up a record hint. And you notice this looks a whole lot like my 5-a-day project. But on this one, Candy, since this is your neighbors, it looks like the Lind family. Remember, we have the record on the left, which is the 1910 census, and we have a family tree on the right. So Candy, I'm going to put you on the spot. Now, if you just stand back and look, does this look like the same family? Candy? We've got Ernest, 1879, Ernest, 1879.
It's similar. It gives you an idea that it's possible.
Yeah, Minnie, E, 1882, 1881. Hey, what's a year? Herman and Arthur are already matched. We've got another brother, Herbert K, K for Carl, Herbert Carl with a C, Reinhardt, Lynn, dates match. Let's open one of these up a little bit and see. We click on details. We're Blue Earth. Spokane. I'd like to see Blue Earth someplace, but yeah, Blue Earth. Herman was born in Blue Earth. So I'd say this is a match. You agree?
Looks like it.
Yep. So what we're going to do is hit that compare button. And we're going to attach this record all the way down. And like I say, unless we may not be helping anybody else, Candy, you may have this may be a cousin of yours. I don't know if you have any Lynn's in your
I
family
don't
tree.
think so.
Okay, but if maybe somebody you went to school with as a girl, you know, they may be working on their family tree and they're going to go in and they're going to see all of this family here, and they're going to see all of these records matched up. And we're done.
Okay, now I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose one of these, let's go Reinhardt, because that one wasn't attached before. Suppose somebody comes in and says, no, Reinhardt goes to the uncle's family, not to this family. How do I take him off of there so I can put him on another family?
That is an excellent question. Do you see my cursor right in the middle of the screen?
Yes,
What word is that?
detach.
All you have to do is click detach.
Okay,
And then and your scenario is very real. Reinhardt could have been visiting. He could have been there for the summer, helping on the farm. Well, at 4 years old, maybe not. But he was there playing with his cousins, and he got counted as a son. You see it fairly often. You just hit detach, and it's going to bring up a little window that says why. And you just put a 2 or 3 sentence description in. Reinhardt actually belonged to, what's dad's name? Ernst's brother. Yeah, it is Ernst. Ernst's brother, Carl, and may have been there visit. You know, I wouldn't put a speculation like may have been there visiting, but got enumerated with his cousins or whatever. But that is exactly what to do, and that was an excellent question. Got it?
yes, got it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you can keep working on this. Rosenberg, Knudsen or Knudsen, however you want to pronounce it. Because something else you can do on that little beginning box, maybe, let's try this. Reverse indexing, volunteer. Candy, instead of giving a county, would you like to give me a name? Maybe one of your family names? Last name?
Brazier. Brazier.
Now we can keep it in Blue Earth. Oh, we do have some. Oop, nope, Bramer. Well, this didn't work very well. By the way, did I mention these are developmental tools? They're things that they're playing with. Well, that didn't work right. Maybe I should have just kept it with Brazier. Let's see, where were we? Now, let's try another search. Wonder if we can just do, we're just going to try it. Looks like we do have one there in Minnesota. Have one in Todd. Okay, taking a quick look on this one. Again, this is the 1910 census. We already have the wife attached. We don't have the husband for some reason, but that appears to match. We have Charles, that matches, and William. And I find it curious that all of these other kids are not listed. That's a little odd to me. Some of the older ones could have been married. Maybe they have passed away. I don't know. But we can at least go ahead and get this record attached to those.
Okay, on this one, you will have to be careful because of brothers and their children.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some names that do not go under there.
Is this your family?
Yeah,
Because I am curious, when I see this many names, I'm a little concerned there. And with the project I'm working on, which time's really going, I do want to take some time to show you things like this happen and people have added the wrong names. So actually on this one, we are helping you with your family. But this is a way you can go in and work on them. And I think this is in Todd County. I'm not sure. So it's not Blue Earth, but I might be next door. I don't know. But anyway, some of them you do have to do a little research. And if you are family, this makes it's so much easier for you to do rather than me go in and do it blind, because you have seen this and you've already picked up there's some errors in the family.
yep,
So, okay.
okay.
But this is a little toy that the linking lab has that you can work on. And if you have a unique name or a small area, you can go in and work on it, and you will be working on family, and you will be helping your family tree and some relatives also. Okay. There are other things in here. I was going to talk a little bit about Goldie May. There is a free version. They have some volunteering opportunities also, the same ones that I just showed you. Also, Goldie May could be a research log for you. And yeah, I was going to have that pulled up and I've lost her. Maybe I can. And this is opening up in a different tab. Okay, did another window pop up? Shirley, I'm looking over here at you. Shake your head if Goldie May popped up. This is the free version. And if you need to keep a research log, oh, I didn't want to, whoops, sorry. In the free version, one thing it will do, say I'm working on a guy named Jack Tapers. I can open this up and then open up Family Search, and anything I look for in Family Search will be recorded. And whenever I look back on May 13th, here is a source that I looked at in Sheridan, Wyoming. Here's another one. And John made that comment about me being able to remember. Actually, that was a very good comment, because I will find a record and 15 minutes later, I've looked at 12 other records and I cannot go back. I cannot find that record. Well, if I have Goldie May turned on, I can go back and find it. And that can be really helpful. Goldie May has some good videos on how to use it. I'm not going to recommend you buy it. It has some neat features. They're like 15 bucks a month. So for a yearly subscription, that's pretty pricey, but it has some neat tools. And you can go on here, be directed to their website and watch the videos. Just not worth it to me. Okay, I have about 15 minutes left. I want to show you a spreadsheet that BYU Linking Lab did. I think actually for some ladies down in Washington County, or maybe they're Montgomery County. And what it is, it's a list of census records. In particular, this is a list of records for African Americans in Washington and Montgomery County, which is Brenham and Conroe, Texas. And the first half of the spreadsheet was the 1910 census. The second half, we've kind of gotten into the 1880 census. And what they have done, they have created this spreadsheet, and they will do this for youth groups, or if some group wants to work on a certain area, they can custom create a spreadsheet for you, so I am told. And then you can go in and work it. And what it does, I'm just going to click on the link of the family I'm working on. And this is going to look familiar. This they call the source linker. And again, you have the record, the document, which in this case is the 1880 census on the left. And what someone has done, they have built this family from the 1880 census. And that's basically what we're doing on this spreadsheet. We're taking another step where then they turn it over to some people, and they will take this family tree and they will build it backwards. Remember, this is the 1880 census, and we will also build it forward as far as we can go. And sometimes I have taken a family of 4, a husband, a wife, and 2 kids, and then I start adding the grandkids and maybe the great grandkids, and I have ended up building a family tree. My record was just over 300 people, just from one census record.
Jim, how do you, is there somebody you can talk to in order to get that a list of names like Mel's family comes from Louisiana. So is there somebody that he could visit with to get some
I would have to get with the lady that actually administers the spreadsheet, whose name I can't remember, double name, Carrie Ann. She had told me that they could do that. I don't know that they would do it for an individual. It's my impression they like to do it for a group.
Mhm.
So they might do it, say, hey, we have a family association that wants to work on this. I will reach out to Carrie Ann, and I'd better write that down. And we'll see. I know it takes them a few weeks to do, but you know, all these little neat tools I showed you, the AI, where we, you know, they look at a word and we say the computer picked the right word. They're using the computer. They are using artificial intelligence to do this. They just have to program it. And they already have things like I understand they have things like the 1910 census, the 1920 census, the 1880 census, and I do not know what all in the computer already. I want to say they can just hit a button. Well, it's a little more complicated than that, but they wouldn't have to start from scratch. So there is that possibility. And you know, I think, okay, here I am, I'm doing this as an act of service. I'm never going to meet these people. But what has been interesting, I've been doing this almost 2 years now. I have received emails from people about going, you know, and they're asking me questions about the family, like, how did you find this person? Why did you attach this person to that person? And then, like Candy mentioned, they go, why did you attach this child to their uncle? And I'm going, oops, yes, I screwed up. But I have been in contact with some of the people, and it's really a neat feeling to know that you have been able to be a part of building their tree and attaching records to it so they can go in, find the name and go, oh, there's my family tree. Not just a name. I've got grandma and grandpa and cousins and aunts and uncles. And so it gives you a really, really good feeling. And this is one of the goals of BYU Linking Lab, is to get records attached and to get the people in family search and get them all together. So I think that's pretty cool. And, you know, some of these people, remember the people we're dealing with here, 1880 census. We might find them in the 1870 census. We're not going to find them in the 1860, because remember, we are dealing with African Americans in the South. We might find their owner's name, but we're probably not going to find a record of them in 1860. We have found a couple. But so these families, they may not know. This guy, he probably doesn't know his parents. He may not have known them whenever he was alive. Certainly no records because he was born in 1824.
Hmm.
So this
1840.
gets to be kind of interesting to do, challenging.
Would you mind
They
taking,
may not,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Would you mind taking a minute to show how you go back to the family, like to the person page and show where you get the records to attach? I mean, I know these come from the census, from that spreadsheet, but then once you've got them going, how do you find more records for them?
Be glad to do that. Let me go down.
Just to put it all together.
Yeah. I think I understood the question. I'm going to go to the person page for John, born 1875. Oh, he only has one record so far. But I've been working with him. I think I can find more.
Well, usually if once you add a person in, the computer starts generating more records, and they're right there in the, like you said, you're pointing to in the research help.
Yes, and there are some. I've actually found a marriage record for him about 6 o'clock, just an hour ago, or 2 hours ago. But what we can do, maybe I can pull it up just by clicking on see, I know he has a Galveston connection, but I just haven't worked him enough to know. This one, and I don't remember his wife's name. I haven't done much work on that yet. But what Shirley is saying, quite often, once you get the person in there, up here in research help, especially if you have used the standardized place and the standardized date, so that the computer knows when you are and where you are, it will show some additional records. And I never thought of loading one for this. In another website, I have found his wife and a marriage date for him. And if I had added that wife, we probably would have been able to find the record and it would have popped up automatically. It was that wasn't a good one to show, but was that what you wanted me to try
Yes,
and
yes.
show, Shirley?
Yes.
Okay. And we just don't always have luck.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll try.
The death certificate project.
Pardon me?
Were you going to take a few minutes and show the death certificate project?
Ooh, no, that's like a whole separate thing. Even
Okay.
though BYU Linking Lab may have been involved, yeah, no help on that one either.
That's
I
okay.
just-
We can do it
I
another
just
time.
thought maybe. Yeah, that's somebody else's project. But if anybody wants to work on Texas death certificates, let me know. Except they've shifted the emphasis, emphasis from that. They're wanting people to go in and work on the 1950 census now that that's out. So, and I think that's going to be covered in a couple weeks with the Get Involved app, which is part of BYU Linking Lab. Yeah, this family search Get Involved. And I've done some of those. I don't even want to get into that. That's somebody's presentation and she's got a whole thing on that. But that's right now, that is switched to working on getting the 1950 census indexed. Questions, comments on BYU Linking Lab and some of the tools? This is something you may want to go in and look at. Go in, play, have fun.
So anybody can do this, right? It's not just for members of our church. Right?
Anybody, well, we try and make these so that pertain to everybody. So yes, this is anybody and everybody. It is open. And easy way, Google search BYU Linking Labs or rll.byu.edu. And you can link up with these and start contributing because we need help.
Can you say that again?
The link,
Yeah,
it's RLL, think Record Linking Lab .byu.edu.
okay, thank you.
You are so welcome, and that will take you there.
And these are good projects if you don't want to spend all day working on something, you can just go and do it for half an hour or an hour. And
Some of them you can do for 5 minutes and literally 5 minutes. And some of them are designed, and again, come back in 2 weeks. It is designed so that you can do it on the phone.
Mhm.
I am doing a batch of 20 names while I do 2 or 3 batches while wifey's at the chiropractor, sitting there on my phone. Yes, it matches. No, it doesn't. Kind of cool.
Hi, this is Mel. I'm going to re-ask a question that Shirley asked a little bit earlier. From this page that we're looking at right now, can you show us how to get back to the spreadsheet again?
Well, now that spreadsheet, that's my spreadsheet. That's one that I am working on for a specific people in a specific area.
Okay.
But they have created spreadsheets for other people that look like this. Actually, it's just the first column and they've got it. So all you have to do is click on it, click on the link, and it brings up the record on one side and the family on the other. And oh, this looks like a fun one because I can already see detach, and that tells me something is not right. So yeah, that's a specific project. So that one would,
link for it, Mel. I can send it to you, I think.
pardon me?
I think I have the general link for it. I think I still have that. I can send it to him.
Yeah, but it's a locked spreadsheet. This one you have to go in by invitation.
Oh,
But yeah, Carrie Ann doesn't let everybody in.
okay.
Yeah, that's still hers. You're more than welcome to look at it. It's a Google, all it is a Google sheet is what they give you. And then we can work from that. And Mel, if you need help, I know the Johnsons can, you know, we don't have to share with everybody here. I'm just letting you know, we can use the Johnsons as an intermediary, and we can trade emails, and I'll be glad to help you out.
Thank you.
That's what I do. And I enjoy, I mean, I love building family trees.
Excellent.
I do it several hours a day, figuring out problems. In fact, I'm the person on this spreadsheet. If you go down in there, you're going along and somebody says, I can't figure it out, get Jim Hauser on this one. So, man, I can't figure them all out.
Well, the funny thing about going backwards in time, you kind of find out a lot more people are related to you than people you actually know about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So even working in an area, I see people sometimes on television, and I've done so much research on certain parishes in Louisiana that I can see people that look like they may be related to me.
Yeah. Yep. Well, see, I've been working on these two counties so long, I'm getting to know some of the families really well. And then there's this big cemetery project going on down there, and I'm recognizing those names too. So anyway, that's not for this meeting. You and I can get together and talk, and I can share some things with you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and turn it back over to the Johnsons, which I think I have done.
Okay, well, great. That was really good. I know stuff.
Oh, and just so you know, it's changing because some of the things I wanted to show you weren't there, you know, that were there 2 weeks ago, and they've added some things in just the last week. So it's a very dynamic site.
Yep, things are always changing.
Yep.
You get interested and take part. Yep. Well, thank you. That was great.